And then allow yourself to arrive. So find whatever way that feels comfortable for you to sit today. And just take a moment to notice how everything feels. How are the feet? How are the ankles? How are the hips? How's the back? How's the neck and the shoulders? How is the head? How are you feeling? How are you coping? Is it getting easier? Is it getting harder? Has it become the new normal? And then just start to close your eyes and come inside. And allow yourself to just sink into your seat, ground into the floor a little bit more with each breath. Watching your breathing, however it is right now. And we'll be focusing a lot today on the core. So let's start right now with lifting the pelvic floor. So engaging Mula Bandha. Just that. And continuing to breathe normally. And notice how it feels. Notice what kind of chain of actions happens in the body when you engage Mula Bandha. Where else can you feel that? Sometimes you can feel it in the soles of your feet, which is odd. Just notice if that's happening for you. And often when you engage Mula Bandha, you start to engage the lower belly kind of automatically. Automatic response and connection, the connective tissue actually connects the two. So, and actually the soles of the feet, there is a fascial connection there too. So if you consciously now start to engage the lower belly, start to draw it in, just firm it up a little. Not so much that you affect your breathing though. So continue to breathe normally. We won't start the pranayama just yet, just normal breathing. But noticing the effects of engaging those two bandhas. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And it means that we can't breathe as deeply down into the belly, but you can still get as full and deeper breath, but it'll just be redirected. So we're looking at the diaphragmatic breath today. So really, as you engage those, allowing the lungs to expand, the rib cage to expand. Last week we talked about those intercostal muscles between the ribs. So allow them to stretch, open up. And letting go, feeling the whole thing contracting back in. So watch as that starts to develop now with more breath control. Deepening and lengthening each breath. If you'd like to start using your Ujjayi breath, start to restrict the back of the throat slightly, flatten down your tongue. And as always, bringing that breath into balance. Equal measure, inhale and exhale, same way. Just take 2 more breaths in this way. Next time you breathe in, just start to lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them back and bring them back down onto the back. Roll them forward, up towards the ears and back. Exhaling down, inhaling up and releasing. Let's just start to work into the neck, warming the neck up a little bit before we begin. So looking towards the ceiling, take a deep breath in and lift your chest as well. Exhale, lower the chin towards the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, looking down. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling as you turn your head to look to the right. So I'm going to go this way. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale right ear to right shoulder. Inhale up to center. Exhale right ear or left ear to left shoulder. Inhale up. And we're going to do 3 circles. So starting with chin to chest, going to the right, and just feeling your way through. Inhaling as you look up and exhaling as you make your way down along the left side. 2 more like that in the same direction. And when you, excuse me, when you come back to your chin to chest, change direction, do 3 more the other way. Chin back to chest. And then when you're finished, just let your head come back to its central position, but don't rush. Take your time, finish in your own time. Well, I'm going to come out of I'm sitting on my heels. I'm going to come into a cross-leg position. If you want to change your seated position a moment, just shake out the legs and find yourself back in a cross-leg position. We're going to sort of incorporate some of our side stretching from last week into the core work that we're doing. So it's a bit more core and twist. But last week, you'll remember we did a kind of a twist for the core and we kind of had no hands variation. So we'll do that a few times, hands and no hands variations in what we do today. But at all times, kind of imagine, so bring last week's practice into today's practice, as we always do. It's always about incorporating everything we've learned from week on week, and see if you can create that space and length along the sides, lifting the rib cage away from the pelvis and keeping all the muscular area in between firm and engaged. Okay, so this is the focus today. So we're going to bring our right hand to the ground and take that side stretch that we did last week. So just bringing it out, maybe TPing up your fingers if you like, or you can flatten your hand. And we're going to lengthen up with the left arm, stretch the fingertips towards the ceiling, get nice and long through your side, and then on your exhale, start to stretch towards the right side. Keep your elbow soft on your right arm, keep your left sit bone pressing to the floor, and then maybe turn your head. If your neck is feeling okay today, look up. Mine's feeling kind of stiff today. We did a lot of gardening today, so I'm feeling the effects in the back and the neck and the shoulders, everything. One more nice deep breath here. And then next time you breathe in, let's come back to center. Release the left arm to the floor. Reach up with your right, get nice and long. Stretch to the ceiling. Draw in the belly. Make sure you're still engaging those bandits. And then exhale over to the left side. Softening your left elbow, pressing down into your right sit bone. Looking to the ceiling. Make sure your arm is out of your line of view. So if it's covering, see if you can draw the shoulder down onto the back a little bit more and open the arm away, back away. So it's kind of just in your peripheral vision. And inhale to rise back up. We're going to take a twist, and this time I'm going to get you to raise both arms up. Lengthen, firm up the belly, engage the core. And we're going to let the arms come down to the left so that the right hand comes in behind you, left hand to the right knee. Lift and lengthen. And use your hands to get your twist. So twisting around to the right. Sorry, I know I said one thing and did the other. Go with me, and it doesn't matter which way you go anyway. And then we're going to lift the hands up. So for me, I'm kind of about to bang into the doorway. So I'm going to bring them into a kind of cactus shape like that. And keep lifting, keep lengthening, keep firming, and keep twisting. You might even feel that in your shoulders. You might stretch them straight out either. You've got space. Now inhale, come back to center, stretch up, and we'll go to the other side. So sorry about the direction mishap. Let's take the hands to the other side. You all know what to do. Lengthen up, drawing your belly, and twist. So you're going to feel that twist working from the base of your spine all the way up to the neck. In that order. So always kind of feel the rippling effect right into the neck last. Often if we kind of go straight into the neck, that's where we have a tendency to pull things that aren't ready to be pulled. So work consciously, one vertebra at a time. Now you've got your nice twist. Let's use the core to keep the twist. Take the arms up. So, you can let them just hover. It doesn't matter. It's just the idea is that you're not using your arms. But I find when I bring them up, that I incorporate the shoulders as well a little bit. One more breath in. And reaching up, back to center. Exhaling, letting go. We're going to now come onto our backs with the belt. So, or whatever you've got, whether it's a pair of tights, dressing gown, belt, anything. Take yourself onto your back, and we'll just work into the hamstrings to warm up for some of the poses we'll be doing later on. So lying on the back, and you can have both knees bent to start with. Take your right foot into the strap or the belt or the tights or the towel, whatever it is. Walk your hands up the belt as far as they'll go and relax your shoulders back to the mat. Then, if it feels okay, if this, notice how this feels. This already feels pretty intense. You might like to keep your left foot on the mat, but otherwise you might stretch your left leg out, so straightening the leg onto the mat. I like to keep both hands on the belt and then equally relax the shoulders to the ground. If you prefer to have your left hand on your left hip and just hold the belt with your right hand, that's okay. Just take a few breaths here. And we're going to get you to bend the knee today, and we're going to kind of circle the leg into the hip socket. So out to the side. I don't have full space to open my leg out to the side in the position I'm in, but instead today we're just going to do, you can use your hand on the belt, but just let the belt slide out a little bit. You can make a nice big kind of stirring motion into the hip. Tighten in your tummy, engage those bandhas. Stay nice and fluid in your breath. Change direction, just go around the other way. Bring your knee in as close to your chest as you can. And just explore that range of movement, motion, and tightnesses, looseness, whatever's going on there. And then back to center, squeeze the leg into the chest. And then you can release the belt from the right leg. Stretch your right leg out, bring your left foot into the belt and stretch up. And again, you might like to have your right foot on the mat, leg bent. Walk your hand up the belt. Relax the shoulders, engage the core. Firm up the right leg as it lies on the ground. Press it down into the mat if it's straight. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed, no tension at all in the neck or the jaw. Let's take one final breath. And then bend the knee again, slide the belt away out through the hands a little bit just to give you some room. And then we'll start to cauldron stir into our hip. So straightening out a little bit as you move the foot away from you, bending the knee right back into the chest. And change direction, go back a few more times the other way. The belly firm so that you keep stable at your core. Nice and steady. And then you can bring the knee back to the chest. And you can drop the belt. Now stretch both legs out. We start into our core work now. So maybe you'll start with your hands in underneath your buttocks. And I want you to try and press the lower back down into the mat. Engage the core. And it'll feel like maybe kind of a posterior tilt in the pelvis so that your tailbone is on the ground and your pubic bone is lifting slightly. And then we're pointing the toes, inhaling to lift both legs off the ground up to a kind of 90-degree angle with the ground. Flex the feet, engage the core, really press the lower back into the mat, and then start to lower back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. That's 2. We're going to do 4 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Exhale down. Last one, inhale up. And exhale down. Release your hands. And maybe just bring them out a little bit. You might like to keep them there actually, it's up to you. I normally at this stage start to kind of warming up, take them out, but you might still like to keep them there to keep your lower back pressing into the mat. Just give you a little extra support, so that'll be up to you. So this time we're going to lift head and shoulders off the ground and you'll feel how your lower back presses further into the mat that way. We're going to lead the hands out to the sides and lower one leg at a time. So exhale right down, inhale up, exhale left, inhale up, exhale right, inhale up, exhale left, inhale up, exhale right, third round to 4, exhale left, and up, and last round, right, and up, and left, and up. And you can curl your knees back to your chest. Relax the head and shoulders back to the mat. Now for the next one, we're stretching both legs out, reaching the arms overhead, so arms by your ears. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, curl your knees in towards your chest and your nose towards your knees, hands shooting forward. Inhale, stretch back out again. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, stretch out, get nice and long, engage your core. Exhale, hug in. One more. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, hug in. Bring your feet to the ground. Reach back. Hug your knees in and rock yourself up to sitting. We're going to come over into downward facing dog. So you might kind of just roll over your feet onto your knees, tuck your toes, lift up, maybe just walk the feet back a little bit. And just ease yourself into your first downward dog. Spread out your hands, lengthen all the way up through your spine. Keep your knees a little bit soft, although you've done a nice warm up there now, so it should be a little easier to go into your first one today. Look back to your thighs. Remember your bandhas. Remember your breath. Now, we're going to start to raise the right leg up. Stretch it up high. Lengthen. Engage the core. And then start to, like last week, bend the knee. Open up through your right hip. So lift the right hip up and drop your right foot towards your left hip or thereabouts. Keep stretching that right hip up and back. And maybe look under your arm to the right. That one gives me a nice stretch through the waist, the obliques. And then we're going to level out the hips, stretch that right leg back up. Exhale, let's hug that knee in towards the chest and in towards the nose, nose coming towards the knee. Hold it. Inhale, stretch up. Lengthen that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling again. Exhale, another one of those. Knee towards the nose. Now look between your hands and see if you can step the foot down between the hands. And then just drop your left knee to the ground. Lengthen forward. Just take a little lunge to ease into our hips. And then lift the left knee back off the ground. Bring your right foot back. Inhale, stretch your left leg high. High as you can go. Maybe stretching down into your right heel. And then we'll go for that hip opening and side stretch. So let's lift the left hip up. It's like you're trying to stack your left hip above your right hip. Press your right heel down. Drop your right or left foot towards your right hip. Lengthen. Keep pushing the hips up and back. One more breath. Level the hips. Bring the knee towards the nose. Shoulders over the wrist like you would for plank. Hug it in. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hug in, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch up. Last one, knee to nose. And then look towards that space between your hands. And then try and get your foot down there. Drop your right knee and sink for a moment into that lunge. Lengthening your chest up and forward. Okay. Now, this time we're going to step ourselves up to the top of the mat. Take the feet hip distance. Get a little length again at the waist and the spine. And exhale to let yourself fold into your forward fold. Now engage the legs. Roll yourself to standing. Bring your feet together. And we're ready for Surya Namaskar Ace or Asan Salute. So stand tall, stand grounded. Really nice, strong connection through the feet to the floor. Legs engaged, core engaged. Think of your bandhas again. So your Mula Bandha, your Uddiyana Bandha. Lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulders back. Now on your inhale, reach the arms up. Lengthen the upper spine, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. Plank or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Maintaining that nice steady rhythm of breath. 4. Last breath, 5 in. And out. And as you breathe out, you're looking forward, stepping up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, standing. Exhaling to the heart. And just a little point, when you're working your core a little bit harder, bring your arms in front and down in front like this. Adds a little extra weight to the back, but also to the core if everything's engaged. So make sure it's not all happening in the back. If your core muscles are engaged, that should add a little extra work there and hopefully a little extra strength in the long run. So that's just something, if that feels too much, bring your arms out to the sides instead. Okay, and just again, I'm gonna hit the wall. So on your inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. I'll jump this time into chaturanga. So if you're in your plank, lower down in your exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And again, take 5 nice deep breaths. That's 1. 2. And then on the exhale, again, looking forward, maybe stepping or jumping. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, close. We're going to come into Surya Namaskar B now. So let's bend the knees, instead into chair pose. Reach the arms up, lengthen, create that space at the waist. Look up. Exhale, bow forward, fold in. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. Plank or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Lower your left heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior 1. Hands back down. Step back, lower down. Exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot forward, right heel down. Bend your left knee, rise up. Hands down. Exhale, chaturanga, or to the floor. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And 5 nice deep breaths. On the 5th exhale, looking forward, stepping up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Come back into your chair. Exhale. Back to Samasthiti. Take a breath. And we're going to stay on the similar round, but we're going to mix it up a little bit towards the end. So let's bend the knees, sit back, reach up, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or jump back. Chaturanga, or to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to step our right foot up and stay up on the left toes. So instead of warrior one, where you would lower your heel, we're going to stay into a high lunge. So rise up, ground through the feet, but feel like you're scissoring your feet towards one another. Really engage the legs. Engage your core. Hold steady. And if you can, look up. If that makes you really wobbly, continue to look forward. If you can bring your palms together, do. But if that means bending your elbows, just keep your arms apart. Or if it's just tighten your neck and shoulders, keep the arms, the hands apart. Now, to work the core a little bit more, if that works for you, we're going to try and lean in. So you're kind of creating a straight line from your heel to your hands. Makes it a little bit harder for the core. Really fire up those legs, fire in the core. 2 more breaths. Lengthen through your sides. And exhale, hands down. We're going to take a twist to leave your left hand on the ground, right under your shoulder. Reach up with your right hand and hold it here for a few breaths. 5 breaths in back. Legs strong, left leg straight and pressing back into your heel. Now, we're going to turn this one into, I'm just flip around just so you can see better. We're going to turn it into a side plank. So we have options. We're going to, first of all, lower our left heel to the floor so you're on your baby toe edge of your foot. Okay. So this is option 1. You can stay here and you can work into the hip a little bit more by letting yourself come onto the right edge, the baby toe edge of your right foot, that is. Okay, otherwise, you're bringing your right foot back to stand on top of your left foot. And you found your side plank or Vasisthasana. 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Take your vinyasa, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. And we'll do the other side. So left foot now, steps between the hands. Staying on your right toes. Rise up for your high lunge. Sink the hips a little. Lengthen the spine a lot. Engage the core a lot. Make sure the shoulders aren't punching around the ears. There, keep them down. Flattening the shoulder blades on the back. Now, start to reach forward like you're going to take off, shooting skywards. Really strong core. Hold it. Make sure your legs are really fired up. Last breath. Hands down. And again, we're taking that twist. So the right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left arm is reaching towards the ceiling. I'll just flip around again. We'll see better. Now, working in towards that side plank variation as well. So let's lower the right heel to the ground on your baby toe edge of your foot. Hold it here, maybe even let your left knee come out to the side a little. You can stay here. Or come back with the left foot right on top of the right foot. Push the floor away from you. Keep lifting your hips. 3, 2, 1. hand down. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You get to take 5 nice deep breaths. If you want to come to child's pose for a rest, do. So quite strong stuff. Now let's step to the top of the mat. We'll finish off our sun salute. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Sit back. Reach up. And exhale. Release. So, step. Well, normally I'll get you to step your right foot back. But whatever works for you, so you can still see the screen. I don't mind. Just readjust the leggings and all that. Straighten up. We're going to come into triangle pose. So we're going to go to the right first of all. So turn the right toes out. See if you can get an alignment between the heel and the arch of the left foot. The right heel to left arch. Open your arms up. Engage the core, bandhas. Reach to the right and come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left arm reaching for the ceiling. If you look up, just see your thumb. If that's comfortable to stay in this position, do, or continue to look straight ahead. Or even down. Just explore the stretch in this pose for a moment. Staying for a few more breaths. Now this is one of the occasions where we're doing hands, no hands. Okay, so you might not feel you using this right hand very much until you don't have it anymore. So we're going to stretch the right hand straight in front and really try and draw this right shoulder forward. Engage your core. Hold for another 3 breaths. Nice and long at the waist, so careful not to collapse into this right side. Last breath. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet the other way, so left foot turns out, right foot parallel with the end of your mat. Engage your legs and lengthen your spine. Let's reach to the left. Get space and create that stretch through the side, and then fold to the side. You leave your left or your left hand on your left leg there, right? Reaching up skywards with the right. Maybe looking up at the right thumb. Strong legs. Strong core. Okay, so for the next few breaths now, reaching your left hand straight in front. And inhale to rise up. Let's step back to the top of the mat. Feet wobble. And get steady and calm. I'm going to step to the other side so you can see better. We're going to step the left foot back for pyramid pose. So with this time, we'll have both feet facing the top of your mat. Okay? And we're creating nice space at the waist and lengthen the spine. Engaging the core. We're going to start by folding forward into our pyramid today. You can bring your hands to the ground or onto your leg, wherever they come. Try not to hyperextend this knee, so just be careful that you're not overstretching into the back of it or making it feel like it's kind of bending backwards. Definitely doesn't want to do that. So if that feel that that's happening, if you have a tendency to hyperextension, you're kind of overbending, very flexible, just soft, bend the knee a little bit. You'll have to work the muscles around, supporting the knee a lot harder when you have a little micro bend. So see if you can create more space in the waist and lengthen the spine. And fold and bow in towards your right leg. And this is with hands. Now, take a deep breath in and lengthen your spine so it's kind of half lift position. Bring your hands to your heart. Hold for a couple of breaths. Now, really lengthen and twist. So you're stacking one elbow on top of the other. Twist, 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 twist. And then bring your left hand to the ground and your right arm up, and you're in reverse triangle. Maybe looking up, but if that makes you really wobbly, just look at something that isn't going to move. Keep your core strong. Right leg should stay straight unless you're doing that little micro bend to protect the knee. And release the right hand down. Inhale, come back to standing. And exhale, step to the top. Namaste. Take a breath. Now next time you breathe in, let's step the right foot back, so left foot's in front, it's going to get the same treatment. Hands can come to your hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Hands can come to the ground. Bow in towards your left leg. A nice hamstring stretch. Square the hips as much as you can. So see if you can get this right hip forward a little bit more. Hug this left leg back in towards the hips. Okay, so that's our last breath. We're going to inhale now to half lift and lengthen the spine forward. Bring your hands together at your heart. And it's like you're really lifting and stretching your sternum forward into your thumb. Now remember, twist into the left. So see if you can get your left elbow stacked up over your right elbow as much as possible, while keeping your core strong to keep you balanced. And then you can bring your right hand to the ground outside your left foot, so baby toe side of your foot, and then reach up into the left hand. So often I will give you a block option to have a block there. If you do want to have a prop there, just to raise your hand up. Otherwise, if it's hard to reach the floor, just bring your hand up your leg. And again, you're kind of doing your own no hands variation there. You have to use more strength. You don't have the extra stability of your hand on the ground. Okay, exhale, left hand down, bend your left knee. Let's take a vinyasa, so bring your hands to the floor, flatten them, back to plank. Exhale, lower down. If you're getting tired, drop your knees first. Inhale, push up to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a breath. And on your exhale, let's step back to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the heart. A little bit of balancing, 1 foot balancing. So again, if you've got your strap, you might use it here as well. So it's very much the same as the pose that we did at the start in our warm-up, lying on our backs with our legs straight up. You don't have to go the full way either. I'll give you options. So option 1, easiest option. We're going to stand on the right leg, lift in the left knee. So you can stay at knee level and hold it here. We'll be taking a twist today. So we'll be taking the hand to the knee and opening out to the side. Okay, so that's option number 1. Option number 2 is to take your foot into the belt or to the towel or the tights. Things that are stretchy, you might feel a bit strange in this one. You can take your hands or your belt around the foot, hands to the belt. And then for that one, you'll take your hands to the belt Left hand to the belt, twist to the right. Sorry, other way around, right hand to the belt. Okay, let's take the full and final option. Full expression is hook your big toe with your fingers and stretch straight. Okay, so find one of those three options, hand to knee, hands to the belt, or hook your big toe. In all cases, I want you to try and keep your back straight. So turn to the side so you can see. So I don't want to see this. Try and keep your back straight, and if that means bending your knee a little bit, that's okay. I'll turn back, holding it for another 2 breaths. Now, the twist, okay? So, if you've got the belt, take your right hand to the belt. If you've got your foot, take your right hand to the outside edge, the baby toe side of your foot. Open yourself around to the side. Lifting to the left. Stretch your left hand back behind you. One more breath. Exhale, release, and let it go. Namaste. Take a breath. Cooling, calming breaths between poses can really help. Especially if you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed, a little tired. Okay, release down. Now, options again, maybe just coming to the knee. And again, for the twist option, take the opposite hand to the knee and help twist you around to the side. Otherwise, belt or big toe. Stretching, sole of your foot away from you, as much as possible. If you've got the belt, make sure your hands are as close to the foot as they can possibly be. So start with your hands right at the foot and only let it slide through your hands as much as you need to keep your arms strong and taut and straight, okay? So if you have the belt really loose and your arms are here, it's gonna be really wobbly. You won't have that same support and strength at all. So let's go with the belt option for this one. Okay, twisting time. Belt into the left hand. Left and right's totally confused. Turn to the right and stretch your right arm back behind you if you can. And release. Back to face forward. Release the belt of the knee or the foot and let yourself come down. We're going to vinyasa our way down to the mat. That concludes the standing part. You'll be glad to hear. Well, see what comes next. Let's reach up, vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Get back to plank. And actually, let's hold this one here. This is where as far as we're going for now. Okay, we're going to do some climbs, a bit of shoulder arm strengthening. So down onto the elbows and land the elbow where the hand was, roughly, under the shoulders. Onto the forearm plank, then back up with the left, back up with the right. Downward dog. Do another round of that. Inhale, plank. Go start with the left this time, so onto the left elbow, onto the right elbow. Back with the right hand, left hand, downward dog. Okay. What was the next button? Hold on a minute. Okay, yes. Twisting plank. So, into your plank position. Okay, so it's a little bit like the downward. If you want to hold on for a moment, drop your knees and I'll show you what we're doing. Last week we did a downward dog with our feet pointing to the side to get a nice stretch through the side. Similarly, we're doing a plank with the same kind of principle. So, but in our side plank, we stack the feet one over the other, and normally we lift the hand off the ground, but we're not going to lift the hand off the ground today. We're going to keep lifting the hips, stacking one foot on top of the other,
So I've gone to the left just to face the camera, so you might as well all go to the left. So from your plank, come onto the left edge of your foot, the outside edge, baby toe edge of your left foot. Stack your right foot on top of your left if you can, and keep pressing down through your hands, but keep lifting your right hip up. Stretching it up and back. One more breath. And back over to the other side. So onto the toes, roll onto the right foot, right baby toe edge. Keep both hands pressing down firmly. Keep lifting the hips up a little bit. Come back onto the toes. Drop the knees. Come into child's pose just to take a little rest. To work as much into our hour as possible. Okay. Take yourself from your child's pose into downward dog. From here, we're going to make our way through to sitting. So you can either jump through to sitting or drop your knees, cross your lower legs, roll back. Scoot down the mat a little bit if you need to. Reverse plank is the plan. A lot of planking today. Planks are great for the core, so it's hard work, but it is good, strong work. So options for the reverse plank, you can, full plank first of all is wrists under the shoulders as you would in the normal plank. And we're lifting the hips up, trying to get the toes towards the floor. The higher we lift our hips and hold it, okay? So lifting the hips, we're also lifting the waist and the chest, everything working together. To make things a little easier, you can come into reverse tabletop, which is this variation, okay? So pick one of those. You can look to the ceiling, or you can keep your chin to your chest, or you can even let your head hang back. So feel into your neck, see what works, and hold this one for another few breaths. Squeeze your shoulder blades down your back and in towards one another to support you there. One more breath. Exhale. Come down. Let's just take a forward fold to cool a little, so lengthen your spine. Walk your hands down, your legs towards your feet and just fold in softly for a moment. Okay, we are nearly there. So, what did I have in store for you? Bending the knees. Feet together today. We're going to bring ourselves down onto our elbows. So, like this. Now I want you to really rock back onto your sacrum and then onto your lower back. Okay, so really press your lumbar spine down and towards the mat. Maybe you'll need to walk your feet in a little bit further to get your lower back onto the ground. And this in itself is quite hard work. So again, you're kind of finding that posterior tilt a little bit in your pelvis, lifting your pubis up towards your heart and lengthening your tail towards your heels. Holding it here. So this is hands version. I think you can guess what the no hands version is going to be. Loads of fun. Okay. Stay here. This is already hard enough for you and you're really pressing your lower back into the ground. Otherwise, let go. So shoot the hands forward, either side of your legs. Squeeze your legs. Squeeze your belly in. Press the lower back down. Try and keep the shoulder blades off the ground. Last breath. Let it come down. Rest your head. Rest your shoulders. Okay, we're going to reverse that kind of action a little bit with a little bridge. So walk your heels in close to your buttocks. Let your arms rest down beside you. I'm going to scoot right down because we're going to bring our arms overhead for this little bridge today. So again, hands, no hands. Okay, let's press into the feet. Lift the hips. Keep the hands pressing into the ground initially. Chest lifting up towards your chin. Pressing firmly and evenly into both feet. So you might find the weight rolling onto the outer edges of your feet. So see if you can press down into your big toes a little bit more in the big toe mound. Now, next few breaths, reach the arms back overhead. Lift the hips even higher if you can. Bring your arms to the 12 o'clock position. On your exhale, you can bring hands down and spine down. Now let the arms come out wide. Let the knees, actually separate your feet out nice and wide on your mat. Let your knees fall to the right. And maybe as an option, you can place your right heel or ankle really on your left knee, the outside of your left knee, to draw that down for a little deeper stretch into the outer hip. Maybe you'll feel it up through the side. If you want, you can reach your left arm up behind you just to get extra stretch in up through that left side into the lats, perhaps under the arm. If that works for you, if you don't feel anything there, just bring your arm to wherever it feels good. Now I'm letting my head fall to the right, but if you want, you can look to the left. And then bring the arm back down, lift the knees, unhook their foot from the left knee, and then we'll let the knees fall to the left. And if you want, you can place your left ankle up on top of your right knee. Let it draw your knee towards the floor. So you're creating a nice internal rotation in that hip. You probably might feel that into the inner part of the hip, into the groin area, a little bit perhaps. And stretch maybe into the outer hip as well, TFL. And maybe into the waist. And then if you reach your right arm up overhead, and you can banana yourself a little bit like we did last week, so that you get more stretch up through your side. And then final breath, lifting legs up, unraveling them, stretching out for Shavasana. Just stretching out the legs, separating them, letting the feet flop out to the sides, rolling out from the hip sockets. Let your hands rest down beside you with the palms facing the ceiling. Flatten your shoulder blades into the ground. If you think you're going to stay here for a little while, which I completely recommend you do, maybe grab a blanket, just make sure you're warm. I will lead you in and I will leave you there and silently, very quietly finish the class. So allow your body to settle and rest. I've worked you quite ferociously this evening. There's nothing very new or weird or strange, but I think it's just the amount of movement as well. And you know, when we're working with core, it's always heat building. So allow yourself to cool down and soften. Heavy. Just start to watch your breath. Everything else is still. Everything else is relaxed. It's nice to get fired up in a heated flow in order to really appreciate that stillness. And to keep the mind still too, calmly focused on the breath. As thoughts come, allow them to come, but then just allow them to go to focusing your attention back to the breath. If you might find that the mind has wandered, again, don't berate yourself, just bring your mind back to the breath. Continue to relax for as long as you need to. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Hope to see you again soon.